Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. This evening I've got a race, just a local crit. So this morning I decided that I was going to do a 1 hour pre-race ride just before tonight's race, and the weather isn't that great outside today, so I decided I would do it on Zwift. I also thought, you know what, let's live stream it. Now I want to talk about the live streams for a second. YouTube's doing this crazy thing at the minute where basically if I upload 2 videos in one day, so if I upload the vlog and then a live stream, the vlog will sort of get pushed down and it doesn't always show up in people's subscription boxes. People don't always see that video, that vlog. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not going to stop live streaming. I'm gonna still live stream, but I'm not gonna upload that live stream as a video after the live stream. So what you wanna do, if you wanna watch, if you don't wanna miss the live streams, there's a bell here or here next to the subscribe button. Click that bell, and then whenever I go live on a live stream, it'll give you a notification to your computer or to your phone. Then you'll know I'm live streaming, you can join the live stream and you don't miss it. I just think that's the best option at the minute until I figure out what's going on. Quick tech segment to today's vlog. If you're not interested in the equipment that I use, skip to this time code here and I will be done with this chat. But this main camera that I use, the Canon 70D, I've said this a couple of times, but it's starting to die. Look, I bought it secondhand pretty much when I started making these videos. I wanted to have a decent camera to put out good quality, so I bought this Canon 70D for like £300. It was an absolute bargain, but it was pretty old, hence it being so cheap. And I think now it's just come to the end of its lifespan. The microphone jack on the side only works when the cable is plugged in one direction, so the amount of shots that I lose because of no audio or bad audio is slowly increasing. So I thought, okay, it's about time I buy a new camera. So there was three different cameras I had in mind. The Sony A7R Mark II, which Francis Cade uses, the Sony A6500, which is kind of like its smaller brother, and then finally the Panasonic Lumix GH5 has just been released. That's the one Cycling Maven has just bought, and also the one that Casey Neistat is now using. So I had these 3 different cameras in mind. The Lumix GH5 is good, it's really good. I'm not going to go into too many technical details, but the sensor on the camera where the lens attaches to the body, it's a really small sensor. Now what this means is in low light conditions, the camera's not very good. The footage becomes very grainy, which is okay if you live somewhere like Australia where it's always bright and sunny and nice weather, but for here in the UK where it's often dark and just not all that great, I need a camera that works well in low light conditions. So that's the Lumix out the window. We're stuck with Sony A7R Mark II, A6500. A7R, keep it plain and simple, is a very, very expensive camera. At the minute, it's a little bit out of my budget, so that sort of brought me to the Sony A6500. I decided I was going to steer away from Canon, even though both of my cameras that I currently use are Canon cameras. They're DSLRs, and the difference, well, an A6500 is a mirrorless camera. And to keep things simple, a DSLR is bigger. A mirrorless camera, it's got newer technology in, therefore it can be small, it's more compact, whilst still maintaining the same quality. So the A6500 is actually better than this Canon 70D. You can shoot 120 FPS in full HD, so you can get those nice slow motion shots. It is amazing in low light conditions, and it's about half the size of this current rig. So if anyone's got any experience of the Sony A6500, be sure to let me know. Am I making the right decision? Am I making the wrong decision? Let me know your thoughts. So this evening I'm going to race, and I was going to race anyway. However, it was going to be between a time trial and a crit. I don't know if I've already mentioned this morning. If it was going to rain, I was going to do the time trial. If it was going to stay dry, I was going to do the crit. And it looks like, according to BBC Weather on my phone and the sky, it looks like it's going to be dry this evening, so I'm going to do the crit. That means I need to take the power meter off my time trial bike and back onto my road bike. Simple. Racing again tonight at Preston Arena. I'm pretty lucky that I've got I think 3 crit circuits within about a 20-minute radius. So if I wanted to, I could race a crit every Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm in a pretty fortunate position, but tonight is the Thursday night crit in Preston. The weather's holding up pretty nicely. It's a nice blue skied evening, and hopefully we're gonna have a good race. Okay, just heading out to warm up now. The plan of attack for today's race is pretty much just to get away in the breakaway. Try and find a group and try and get away with a group and stay away until the end of the race. That is the ultimate goal. But you know, in a crit, anything can happen. There's quite a bit of wind tonight, so that means positioning is going to be key. And to make sure I'm positioned well in certain elements of the race when there's a crosswind, I don't want to be, you know, exposed to that wind. And it's surprising how much energy you can lose just for poor positioning. But there's a few good riders turn up tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into it. I just realised I didn't have my mic on for that whole clip. But I just said it got real dark, real quick. And alright, let's first start with the result. What did I get? Like 7th, 8th? So there was a breakaway that went off pretty soon after the start, maybe 10 minutes into the race. And that included a JLT rider and 3 other guys, 3 other real strong crit riders. However, there was still some real strong riders in the bunch, in my group, including Rick Horton, who wins everything around here, and also Dylan Byrne, who's just won the Ras Moon over in Ireland. So I thought, you know, it's okay. This group's going to come back if we all work together. This group's going to come back, and it's going to be fine. However, it very quickly became apparent that not everyone was keen to do their turn, not keen to do their fair share of work, and yeah, unfortunately we didn't bring the brake back. The brake stayed away, 4 guys stayed away, and I came in 3rd from the bunch behind, giving me 8th place. I mean, it's getting dark now, so I'm going to continue this talk. I'm going to drive home, and then we will continue talking about the race. Pretty much the reason we were, or partly the reason we were unable to catch the breakaway today was because was lack of cohesion in the group. I know, let me illustrate this for you. So, in an ideal situation, you have the track here, the breakaway of 4 riders rolling through doing their turns, and then you've got a gap of some significance, and then the group behind in this sort of formation here. And then what happens, you roll through either clockwise or counterclockwise depending on the wind direction. Each rider on the front will take 10, 15, 20 seconds, then they'll roll through, and the next person will come through in a chain gang motion. And that is how you bring the brake back. However, in tonight's race, okay, we'll use the red, it's a little bit easier to see. In tonight's race, you've got the road, the breakaway here, working well together, and then our group behind. So you had one person, the next person coming through, the next person, then the next person. However, it was kind of like this formation. So if you can imagine, we're going around in the counterclockwise direction. When this rider here comes through to take their turn, there's no one behind them. So there we can see there's only a small number of riders willing to work, and then slightly behind the bunch you've got the riders that are sitting on who aren't taking a turn, and then at the front of the back of the group you've got the riders that are letting the wheels go. They're not following the wheel to take their turn, they're letting that gap go. So there's people constantly chasing on. And this process pretty much repeated for the whole race. And inevitably, we didn't catch the breakaway. They stayed away. Fair play to the breakaway. They were riding perfectly together. And there was points in the race where there's maybe 4 or 5 of us working like real hard, and we weren't really able to bring them back. We brought them back a little bit, but not, you know, we didn't bring them back completely. And in the end, those 4, actually there was 4 guys, and then on the last lap we caught 1, so it ended up being a breakaway of 3. And then I came in 4th from the bunch, so that was 7th place. And one of the things that was happening tonight was riders were not taking their turn. They were missing turns because they didn't want to use all their energy up. They wanted to still have something left in the sprint at the end, which would completely make sense had there not been a breakaway. And we, the bunch, were racing for the win. However, we were racing for 4th or 5th place. And look, in a midweek crit, 4th or 5th place, it is nothing. No one remembers 4th place. No one remembers 5th place. You go to a midweek crit to race to win. In my opinion, it's as simple as that. And if you miss the breakaway, you smash yourself. You work hard. You do whatever you can to help the group to bring that breakaway back. And yeah, that's just what the group was lacking. Like, there were some riders there tonight who were clearly not as strong as some of the other riders, but they were still smashing it on the front and doing their turn and doing whatever they could, even if it's only 5-second turns, and then they peel off and then sit on. At least they were having an input into the race, and at least they were trying to get fitter, to get stronger, to get better, to work harder, to push themselves more. And that's what it's all about, in my opinion. Anyway guys, that's enough of me rambling on and moaning for one day. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy the race videos, drop a big thumbs up. I am heading down to Jorja's house for the weekend tomorrow morning. That should be fun. But that's it from me guys, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow.